what happens when Black brilliance is neurodivergent. All right, I'm gonna tell you in 3 parts. Now, keep in mind, I don't edit these, y'all, so I might ramble. I might stutter. I might forget a word or two. I'm not gonna edit them because one of my reasons for doing videos like this is so I can overcome perfectionism. And that is one of the things that Black brilliance, when it's neurodivergent, experiences. Perfectionism is a huge dynamic that many of us experience, mostly all of us, and to varying degrees. It is no surprise that Black Americans are going to experience a heightened level of perfectionism. A lot of us, like myself, were raised by people who were the descendants of enslaved Africans. And that experience has been passed down. You got to be better. You got to be more. You can't let people think negatively about you. You got to be the best because they're going to try to minimize your experience. And when you combine ableism and the stigma from people wanting neurodivergent folks to be neurotypical, that perfectionism heightens. By the way, perfectionism is like the grease in systems of oppression. This is how these gears keep going. Systems of capitalism, systems of white supremacy, systems of patriarchy, they all operate on the fuel of perfectionism. Second thing that happens when Black brilliance is neurodivergent, we experience a heightened level of interlocking systems of oppression. That term was coined by Dr. Patricia Hill Collins, who took the theory of intersectionality, which was originally coined by Dr. Kimberly Crenshaw in 1989. She originally took that theory and expanded it, along with other brilliant Black women scholars like Bell Hooks and some other folks. So Patricia Hill Collins, who is absolute genius and a legend, she took that theory and expanded it. And so interlocking systems of oppression has to deal with all of these things that we're experiencing that force itself down upon us. So me as a Black man, not intersectional, but I'm a Black neurodivergent man. I have disabilities. I have neurodivergent conditions. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have ADHD. I'm autistic. Probably got some cluster B stuff going on too. Whole nother conversation for another point in time. I am experiencing the ableism from that, the racism from that, in a multitude of situations, and it is maddening. The third thing that I want to talk about is we get overlooked. When Black brilliance is neurodivergent, we get overlooked to a greater degree, typically, or we get put on a pedestal as the token or as the exception. So one way that this looks is most of y'all seeing this video probably have no idea who I am. But I think I'm pretty important in the neurodiversity movement. I'm a licensed clinical mental health counselor. I have 2 master's degrees. I am pretty authentic. I do talks across the country. I've worked on an international level doing consulting. I'm a licensed clinical addiction specialist. And I'm wrapping up a PhD and I'm doing a dissertation study. Whoop, big truck going by. And I'm doing a dissertation study looking at Black neurodivergent adults in the workplace and their experiences with racism and career aspirations. You've never heard of me. You've probably never heard of Rach Adawu, who does amazing work talking about ADHD. Probably never heard about Renee Brooks, who does amazing work talking about ADHD and autism and other neurodivergent conditions. You probably never heard of Dr. Maria Pierre Davis, or I'm sorry, I got her name wrong. My apologies, Dr. Maria Davis Pierre, who is absolutely brilliant and does the Autism in Black conference, which you should be attending. And you probably never heard about Dr. Bernard Grant, who is a prolific writer who just continues to pump out content to help educate folks on Black neurodivergent issues. Whew! It's hard for me to keep things under 5 minutes, y'all. I just did that. Give me a round of applause. All right, so what are some other ways that y'all notice issues of Black brilliance when it's neurodivergent? By the way, if you like this talk, at the end of April, on April 26th, I will be doing a more formalized version of this talk at the Teaching in Color conference. And the keynote speaker at that conference is Tyler James Williams. Sorry if I'm mixing that name up, but it's the brother that plays Gregory on Abbott. Maybe we'll find out if that character really is neurodivergent. We probably won't find that out, but I still got to tease it. Peace.